It's not there. Okay, so maybe it's there. He thought he put it there. Oh, I couldn't find it anywhere. His Morning Crew with Rob and Liz. His radio.
Sounds like you crawled into Dr. George's head because he couldn't.
So
he was looking for his yearbook. He was going through some nostalgia. He's like, I just want to see my yearbook again. Couldn't find it anywhere. So he called the college. College didn't have any left. So he's like, oh, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
So it just so happened that somebody he doesn't even know, they're in a thrift store. There's a box of yearbooks from the college.
in a thrift store?
All different years that are in there, including the year that he graduated. And so the person brought all these to the school and said, hey, do you want these? I found them in a thrift store. And they remembered that Dr. George called, so they called him back and said, hey, listen, we've got your yearbook. Somebody brought it in from a thrift store. He's like, cool, send it. And so they sent it. Then several weeks later, he sent a donation to the college. It's the Marion Military Institute, by the way.
Okay.
And the donation was $1 million.
What?
Because they found his yearbook.
What?
Yeah, $1 million.
Because they found his yearbook. He was. Do you think he was probably already deciding to do something like that?
I doubt it.
Or was just feeling nostalgic?
I think he was feeling some nostalgia, remembered what the school meant to him.
And what it had done
and
for
what
him.
it's done for others.
Yeah.
And he's like, they went the extra mile, got me my yearbook. I've got to make a donation to somebody anyway. So Dr. George donated $1 million.
And you know what that boils down to? Customer service.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Wow. They remembered. Somebody had to have written it down, that guy's name.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And said, you know what, if I ever come across it, I'll give him a call and
Yeah, and a few weeks later, it happened.
boom, there you go.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Dude, some cars are rank. You know, especially when you rent one.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and people do, and
Yeah.
I was in one. Okay, never mind.
No, really, I want to hear now.
No. That was pretty rank. It's like,
Oh.
no, I can't drive this one, guys. Smells horrible.
Swapsies.
It smells horrible. Anyway, so Peter makes sure that cars smell good, that they smell like the new car smell. He works for Nissan.
Mm-hmm.
He is a chemist. Mm-hmm. He's got a master's degree, right?
Yeah.
So he's in forensic science and chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
And so his main job is to develop the new car smell, and it goes in these brand new Nissan cars.
Yeah.
And he gets to smell for a living. He's
Yes.
or
Oh, that's not it, guys.
got it. I got to change the chemistry on that one.
You know, he knew from when he was a little kid that he had this heightened sense of smell. And I don't know, I guess maybe his mom, and they talked about it and here's what you could do for a living. But then he went into chemistry and all this stuff. But yeah, that's what he does. He even develops the smell.
Yeah, he makes the new car smell.
Yes, and he can tell between like leather seats, cloth seats, the vinyl, I guess, that they use.
Wow, there's a lot to put in that smell, huh?
Right, I can get in my car because I keep my car in the garage, and I can, if sometimes I'll get in my car and I'm like, what is that? Oh, I left some gym socks in here.
Oh,
Or you know what I mean? But this guy smells like subtle little nuances, and then he tweaks them as the chemist.
That's amazing.
And
Absolutely
I want to know
amazing.
how much money he makes. I
I
don't
hope
know
he
why.
can do the Febreze people. Because I think it's Febreze. I like the new car smell.
Yeah.
And so I'll get the little things you put in the air conditioner. Yeah.
I can't stand those things.
If it's new car smell, yes. It's got to be new car smell. I can't stand anything else but new car smell.
Yeah.
If it's one of those little fruity things, no, please. New car smell.
And baby powder. Why do you?
Really?
Yes.
I never heard of that.
Yeah. So I'll go to the car wash every now and then, and they'll say, "Do you want any fragrance?" No, absolutely not. You don't want baby powder? Why would I want baby powder in my car?
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
There's some new apple pie. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio, and it comes in the form of cereal. Throw even more sugar on this stuff, and then there you go.
Kids'
Enjoy.
cereals are crazy to me.
Oh, that's right. That's like a Cinnamon Toast Crunch apple pie thing, right?
Yeah, they're taking Cinnamon Toast Crunch, which I like. I don't eat it because it makes me kind of ill because there's so much sugar in it. But they now have an apple pie Toast Crunch that they're doing. You know what? They had a dulce de leche Toast Crunch at one
Oh,
point.
no, what, huh?
Dulce de leche, it's like the caramel. Oh, it's so good.
You said that before, that word
Yes.
before, and I'm like, I'm still clueless, but it's caramel?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah. It's a
Okay.
little, I think it's a little thicker than caramel, but dulce de leche.
Then what?
Caramel.
She said it like mumbled it. You can say caramel and I can say caramel or whatever. It's tomato. Still the same thing.
Yeah, but so I don't know about cereal that tastes like apple pie. That's
It
weird.
won't. I think it's impossible. It'll probably have a hint, but I think it's impossible to make cereal taste like, pie.
If they get the smell right and it brings in both of those senses, I think they could come close. But again, I don't like apple pie, so having it for breakfast is even worse.
Oh, really?
To me, but yeah. And why mess with cinnamon
What
toast
pie
crunch?
would you have for breakfast?
I wouldn't have any pie for breakfast.
Yeah, you would. What pie would you? If there was pie in the fridge and you're thinking, you know what? I just want to throw some whipped cream on this and have it for breakfast. What would it be?
Probably sweet potato.
Sweet potato, really?
Yeah. That's probably...
See, that's disgusting stuff. I don't like it.
Is it really?
Yeah.
To you?
It's like pretend pumpkin pie.
Well, yeah. And pumpkin pie is right there. To me, they're very similar.
I like pumpkin.
Yeah.
I don't like the sweet potato stuff.
I'm a big...
I'd rather, I'd rather eat the sweet potato than eat the pie of the sweet potato.
True. Me too. I'm not a big pie fan, but...
And please don't make that into cereal either.
Yeah,
Sweet potato pie cereal?
Pumpkin pie cereal.
Oh, no.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
21 Days of Peace. This has been going on for years. And even before COVID happened.
Right.
This has been going on. And these group of people, it's a movement, 21 Days of Peace, they get their lawn chairs and they find the most violent place in town and just sit.
That's all they do.
They just sit there. And it's amazing because crime rate goes down and the violent crimes go down in percentage. It's the police are like, all you do is sit. They're like, yeah, we just sit here.
Yeah, it's not like they're vigilantes or anything like that.
No.
I mean, it's moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, brothers, sisters that are just sitting, on a lawn somewhere, like you say, right in the heart of some of the most violent neighborhoods. And for whatever reason, the crime is going down. So much so, 21 Days of Peace started in Minneapolis. It's spreading across the country. Nashville has tried it recently.
They have. And I like what they call it in Nashville. They call it Gideon's Army. And West Nashville Treatment Center is
that
heading
cool?
this up. Yeah. It's a lot of church people and people in the community that get together to do this. 21 Days of Peace. And they declared it's peace. So we're just going to get our lawn chairs and sit here and drink our sweet tea.
And I think this used to happen a lot more in neighborhoods. We would sit on our front porches, talk to your neighbor, maybe share a spot of tea or an iced tea or whatever, and just have conversation. And then people that were up to no good kind of stayed away because somebody was going to identify them.
I'm feeling the Fresh Prince of Dead Air or Bel Air in my head now.
This is a story all about how.
Yeah,
That
but but you said something in there that reminded me of a line in it.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Oh, there she goes. She's trying to get there in her head. That's okay. And I said dead air, didn't I?
You did that. But I love.
That's what's in my head.
But I love that people are doing this to take care and to take a stand for their neighborhoods, for their families in this way.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Liz wants to tell you about her great Aunt Mary. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio. I don't know if you have a great Aunt Mary, but Liz does.
It's actually Marie.
Oh, I'm sorry, Aunt Marie.
Yeah,
great
and
Aunt Marie.
I don't know where she is in my family tree, and I have not searched it, but my aunt, Shelley, says that Marie Antoinette is in our family tree somewhere.
Really?
And King Louis, somewhere.
Who was she again?
She is remembered as not the greatest queen because she was she liked to spend the money a lot while the people of the country in France
Okay,
were
the Queen of
starving.
France.
Yes, they were starving, and so she made some good choices, but some historians say that that's not true. But anyway,
Bad choices, you mean?
bad choices in that she really liked to spend her dime, and she really liked diamonds.
Okay.
Really like diamonds. In fact, in 1776, she had a couple of bracelets that were made, 3 rows of diamonds, and they had 70, and they are not like little chippy chips. They're honking big, as you say, diamonds.
Okay.
Okay, so they're
When you say as you say, you mean me?
Yes.
Because that's a term I do say.
Yes, you do. And she spent somewhere in the neighborhood of like $250,000 on these bracelets in 1776.
Okay, well that's nice to know. How
It's millions of dollars.
Okay.
you can buy that. You can buy those bracelets.
What, are they going on auction or something?
Yes, they're going. Sotheby's is going to put them up for auction, and they're thinking that they're going to bring in, a couple of maybe $4 million. But some of the experts think it's going to go way more than that.
How do these people find this stuff to auction off? These Sotheby people.
Well, it was passed down in her family, and I don't know which family member maybe in a financial crunch right now.
Yeah, but the auction house finds these. I mean, these people always find the big stuff to auction off.
Well, Sotheby's is the most respected, I guess, auction house in the world. And so I think probably the family reached out to Sotheby's.
People approached to that.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because if you want to auction something off, you're going to go to the most respected one around here. I don't have anything that Sotheby's would take.
I don't know. I made a clay ashtray back in the day.
Again, I don't know of anything that I have or you that Sotheby's would take.
I want to at least try and see what they can get for me.
What do you think you'd get out of your
$5
claymation?
maybe. $5 maybe. I was what, 3rd grade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think
so
you'd get
$5, yeah.
You know what? Maybe your kids would bid on.
No, they wouldn't.
You
They don't
think
want
they
that.
would?
No. Why would they bid on that? I'd just give it to them.
Well, I mean, if you had it up for auction though, and they had to, and wanted to
they
keep it in the
wouldn't.
family.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Here's 2 families that were at the hospital at the same time. It's time to have a baby. And so they were born when there was a horrific storm that was going on. 3 years later, all of a sudden, these 2 families run into each other and they go, wait a minute. Your child kind of looks like a couple of my kids. And then they started talking and they found out that they were at the same hospital at the same time during that bad storm. And they went, are our babies mixed up?
Oh my goodness.
This one kind of looks like your family and yours look like, wait a minute. So they did DNA tests. 15 days later, it was confirmed.
Oh, cold chills
The
already.
babies were mixed up. And now here are the 2 families and they're facing this thing. What do we do? So you know what they did? They moved in with each other. The 2
in the same
families
house?
in the same house and raised their children together. Because 3 years, it's like, this is really going to mess up our kids. Let's just move in with each other and we'll raise all our kids together. And they did. And so these 2 girls grew up as sisters. They're in their early 20s now. And one of them wrote a book about the whole experience.
Oh, is it? I've got to read this book now.
I know,
read this
right?
book.
It's called Sisters Forever. And it chronicles this whole story. That's just amazing. Absolutely amazing. There was one time that some people came and said, this is really weird. We suggest you separate. And so they did. And they're like, this ain't working. And they went right back with each other.
Wow.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
And I love that it turned out that way, that they were able to work together as human beings and say, this is what's best for our kids and our families. Let's not fight about it, because that could have been a long, drawn-out legal
Heart-wrenching
process.
because you're raising this child. It's your child, you thought. And then 3 years later, it's like, wait a minute, I want my baby, but I don't want to give up my baby. You know what I mean?
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, and so they just moved it. They talked it through, and then eventually, there's more to the story, but they eventually just moved in. I could see a movie made out of this for real.
Well, because you make a bond with the baby that you bring home, but then there is that biological bond as well with the other child who you don't know yet.
And by the way, the parents told these 2 girls when they were 8 years old what happened.
Well,
and that's why our families live together.
And I think before that, I don't think their little brains could have processed.
Oh, absolutely not. But I'm glad they told them and didn't keep it a secret,
That would have been so much worse. So much harder
all of a sudden
to
you're
take.
in your 40s and 50s and realize, wait, what? That's why we all live together.
Exactly.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
So we got half a day of summer left.
Exactly. Fall this afternoon.
They said yesterday was the last day of summer, but in actuality, they have like a time 3-something in the afternoon that fall arrives. It's fall today.
Yeah.
But they say there's only half a day of summer left. So it's like, okay, we got to pack some stuff in here.
Yeah. I saw an article that was talking about some of those things. If you don't do them, you're going to regret them. Go swimming. Go barefoot. I'm like, I go barefoot like every day, even in the winter.
I was barefoot this morning. I put my shoes on at 5:30.
Yeah, see? Exactly. Hit up the county fair, go camping. Okay. But I'm thinking the summer, it's basically over.
Oh, of course it is.
What's the best thing you did this summer? Just pick one little thing that you did.
Oh, we went camping.
What was the best thing?
It was the
that
best
happened?
thing and the worst thing. I'll tell you the worst thing first.
Okay.
It was primitive camping, and we had to walk all of our stuff, which we pack a lot of stuff to go tent camping.
Sure.
At least it was over half a mile. So it took hours to get everything there.
Sure.
But once we got there and we spent the weekend on that little lake in a little tent, it was amazing. It was so good.
So the best and worst, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, the best and the worst of summer, all in one trip.
Yeah, well, I can see that. We went to like Gulf Shores, Alabama, right on the beach, and I can see some of the worst was the travel to get there and all that good stuff. But we got to hang out with the entire family for a week. Even a couple of friends that went along with us. Had the new baby in the family along with us, and getting to see her get in the ocean for the first time.
How nice is that?
She didn't like it at first. She cried, and then they sort of dipped her down into the water a little bit at a time, and she got used to it, and then she was all in.
800-447-7234. We'd love to hear what you did this summer before summer is gone by this afternoon, because it is this afternoon when it's gone.
It's gone.
You get it.
It's over.
But wait a minute. Liz just said that she invited friends on her vacation.
Friends of my son's.
Okay. Thank you. I feel a tad bit better.
Unless you want to stay in bunk beds next time around.
No.
No?
No, we get the master room.
No, you don't.
You set up the rental, and then the Dempseys will take the master.
I have an extra bunk bed.
Yeah.
that?
You and Joey will be fine in it.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
We're starting to think about, the memories that you've developed this past summer. We might as well celebrate before it's gone from us this afternoon. Holly's here at 800-447-7234. What'd you do?
We went to Gothenburg, and in the chocolate factory, my husband had never been able to, pick out his own chocolate. So it was really special to see him, light up and just pick out different flavors and different things he's never been able to try. They've gone many times, but his grandfather would always just get them a little, box and be like, here, you get to have this. And so it was really a special moment for me.
And tell me about him choosing a flavor. What was it?
He did the turtles. We got all the different types of chocolates that were the turtle types, which have, I don't actually know what's in them. Other than that, I know that there's caramel in them, and so that was his pick. I went and picked something else.
I bet. But, man, that sounds like a cool memory. I'm glad you shared that with us, Holly.
I know. It's so much fun. Dee Dee said this year we went primitive camping, too. She said we took our scouts on a trek where we primitive camped while canoeing. We did 58 miles in a canoe.
No way.
Yes, 3.5 miles, carrying out canoe and all of our gear over land to get it to the next lake. They did 12 lakes while doing the trek in the remote wilderness in Minnesota.
Really?
Yeah, it was one of the hardest things she said that they've done, but it was the best summer.
I so want to do that. That just sounds so neat to do.
Cool, just carrying your canoe to the next lake?
Yeah. Dee Dee, how did you set that up? I so want to know.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
You know what? I guess weather would get in the way.
A little bit.
You don't stand in the rain and pray like that. Well, you can.
Exactly.
Got to have a lot of umbrellas and all
Take
that
care
other
of the
stuff.
flag, too.
It's Rob and Liz, his radio. We heard from several places like Spartanburg. What is this? Spartanburg Christian Academy.
School? Yeah.
I'm reading my chicken scratch, and I'm realizing I write horrible. Franklin County Middle School got together, and so they've been praying at their flagpole this morning for See What the Pole.
Yeah, and Beverly even sent us a couple of pictures and said South Effingham Middle School was out and about. They had a really good crowd out this morning.
That's good.
I know. I love seeing that. We had Robert Anderson Middle School, and it just said, "But God, raising world changers."
Good for them.
I love that. And they had a really good group of kids, too. Franklin County Middle School. So, yeah, lots are showing up at the poll this morning. Love seeing the pictures.
That's good.
And hearing about it.
It's not like they're coming in. It used to be, 30 years ago when they first started this thing?
Mm-hmm.
It was the biggest thing ever.
Oh, I know.
Biggest thing ever.
Yeah.
So many students around the flagpole and praying for their school and local government and teachers and everything else.
Yeah. Ashley said, see you at the poll because of the bad weather was pushed to tomorrow at Woodruff Elementary School.
That's good.
Yeah, so at least we're hearing, tomorrow they're going to take advantage of it because it's supposed to be Beautimus.
What a hootus?
Beautimus.
Okay. What she said.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
There's so much that you can do to really boost that workout. His morning crew with Rob and Liz, his radio.
Well, listen to Liz. We're getting all jacked up and stuff.
Not at all.
Go ahead, flex. Flex the bicep.
No. No, I'm not doing that. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey. That was so rude.
Hey, here, I don't know if you follow anything on TikTok, but I've been very interested in what this new trend is. And it sounds outrageous. Grab a Rice Krispie treat before and maybe even after your workout. I know, right? Those Rice Krispie treats?
I'm intrigued.
I know, because they're so full of sugars and they have some carbs. And
Yum.
I mean, 16% of your sugar just in that.
Is it really? Mm-hmm. Oh, my goodness.
They're only 90 calories, but still, you got to look. And then I saw that this nutritionist, there's this doctor with a bunch of letters after her name.
Mm-hmm.
So, she knows what she's talking about. She says, it's the go-to that I tell athletes in college to do.
Why?
Grab a Rice Krispie treat.
Why?
Because it digests pretty quick. Number one.
I wouldn't have thought
it goes in there. She'll tell them, like, during halftime,
It's processed.
grab one.
I don't get it.
Yeah, well, she does.
Okay, well, so this one time at a gym, girl was about to get on a treadmill.
You were?
No, it was not me. I was like, oh, can you really do that? She popped a miniature Reese's cup before she got onto the treadmill.
Really?
And I'm thinking, if I'm on the treadmill 20 minutes, I might burn at best 150 calories if I am really getting it done. And a miniature has like 50 calories, I think.
I have no idea.
I'm just, they're so good. But I just would
they
not
are.
pop one right before
Kryptonite.
a treadmill. But I can see maybe a little boost of sugar. I can see that, I guess, if you need to get through the workout and your energy's lacking. I don't know.
So there you go.
Okay.
So the nutritionist said, for a workout, Rice Krispie treat.
So before I go to the gym this afternoon, I'm going to get on the treadmill. I'm going to open my Rice Krispie treat and say, doctor said I needed to do it.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
So on this island, it's completely abandoned, but there used to be civilization on this island. There's been no existence on this island of people who live there for over 30 years. It was like the mid-90s,
Way
right?
back, yeah.
The mid-90s. So when you go and visit this island, and someone did that recently, it's like, oh, look at this. People used to live here.
Yeah,
It's
taking
quite
pictures.
amazing.
It was very cool.
There's a McDonald's on this island. They went into the McDonald's. And first they saw the menu, board, and just think, this is 30 years ago.
Right.
If you were alive 30 years ago, you might remember, wow, this is throwback here.
Yeah, because now they have like little cameras and they put everything up on the screen. And
Yeah, I mean, they used to slide things on to make the
On and
letters
off, yeah.
and stuff like that. And there was an advertisement there for Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park toys, brand new toys.
I remember those Happy Meals with the Jurassic Park
Right.
toys. They had little dinosaurs, the little people.
They're in that McDonald's.
It's so cool.
The toys and everything are in that McDonald's. It's like time has stood still on this remote island
Right.
for over 30 years because it's been deserted.
It's like they were in the middle of serving customers and then all of a sudden they just shut the lights off and left. And left everything the way it was.
It's like the rapture happened only on that island, and everybody's gone.
Exactly.
Clothes folded nicely and on the ground.
Very neatly and nicely. Yes, exactly.
Referencing a movie. I almost said cheesy movie, but I'm not going to call it cheesy. But here it is. It's an old Army naval base.
Mm-hmm.
And so they no longer needed it. So it's like, okay, let's go.
Yeah, they closed that one up, and I think it's in Anchorage. I don't know if it's the same one, but kind of the same where they had the Army and the Air Force at the same base.
Mm-hmm.
But it was on that island, and once those people left, that was kind of who was just on the island.
Yeah.
No need for a cheeseburger Happy Meal.
No, I mean, it's crazy when you see it.
It is, and wasn't it Alaska that also had the last standing Blockbuster video?
No, that was like in Idaho, or it was in Midwest.
I thought Alaska had one, but
Midwest.
But anyway, I was going to say that's where certain things go to live out the rest of their time.
That's right.
The
It's just
islands
like
of
a
Alaska.
frozen in time 1990s
Yeah.
vibe when you go to this remote island.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Just out of curiosity, if somebody handed you like $3,000 and said, here's a travel agent, $3,000, go anywhere you want, have a vacay your way, what would you do? Where would you go? 800-447-7234. It's Rob and Liz. Actually, that's going to happen for somebody.
It is going to happen. It could be anywhere. If you like somewhere remote, you like city life, it is totally up to you. I love that you are in absolute control of this. The dates, who goes with you, what you do, where you go.
Yeah, because this is not going to be just a fantasy. This is not going to be a dream. It could be a reality for you with His Radio's Vacay Your Way. It's our first day giveaway for our Share-a-thon that starts October 19th. If you don't know what Share-a-thon is, we raise the operational budget for this listener-supported radio station.
I mean, it makes a way for us to stay on the air and continue the ministry of His radio, and you get to be part of that.
Well, here's what happens. You're the one that helps share the hope of Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing that when you give a gift. So we just wanted to say thank you by giving you a vacation, and a vacation that you would actually want, not one that we kind of go, okay, we set up a little trip to,
Here's the
I don't know.
parameters.
Yeah, you get to go to the mountains in a nice cabin.
Yeah.
That does sound nice, and maybe that's your vacation. But you set the parameters. You have $3,000 in a travel agent. Vacay
Boom.
Your Way.
Yeah, and it's so easy to get in on. You can go online, hisradio.com, tap the My His Radio app, even just texting the word vacay to 800-447-7234.